Benevolence, my dear mortals. I am Whimsical William. Welcome to my channel. Are you a fan of Harley Quinn? Do you like comic books? This video, I want to take a detour, if you will, from manga, the wonderful world of manga, mostly black and white pages, to the beautiful colors, larger trim size of comic books and graphic novels. In this case, I want to talk about Harley Quinn, but not a comic book, but a graphic novel. If you're a fan of Harley Quinn, it is your due diligence to check out this graphic novel. I don't think it's canon, but the story and the art are just sublime. Really, really good stuff here. I'll show you a few panels. I also like the dialogue. I like what the characters are saying to each other. They gave Harley Quinn, a really distinctive voice, even though you don't hear her talking because you're reading. But you get a side of her that you don't usually get to see. You get to see her starting off, finishing school, becoming who she becomes, Harley Quinn. And it's mostly her life while talking to the Joker and being influenced by him. You only get to see a little bit of Harley Quinn. You get to see a lot more of Harley Quinzel. What I really enjoy about this particular graphic novel is the quality. It's a hardcover. It's got really nice cover, really nice flaps. If you remove the cover, there's art underneath. Really cool art. I'll show you that too. Yeah, so the quality of the book itself is just outstanding. The story is really cool. We get to see a lot of Two-Face. We get to see not a lot of the Batman. We get to see Batman more as a passive character. We get to see a little bit of Gordon, and who else? And of course, we get to see the Joker. But we see the Joker in a pretty interesting light. He isn't quite as insane as we're used to because we're seeing him through the lens of Harley Quinzel. So Harley Quinzel, long story short, she takes the opportunity to work at Arkham Asylum, and at first she's avoiding the Joker because she's having nightmares about him because her first meeting with the Joker, he pulls a gun out on her. He met her on the street before she even got the job. So she's just really avoiding him. She doesn't want to be bothered. She's working with Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, a couple of soldiers that fought in wars, and they kind of went through their trauma and whatnot and ended up harming people. That was a nice addition. So Harleen is, she's really good at her job. She's very seasoned. She has a lot of experience, but she keeps avoiding the Joker. So one day she's just like, let me just do it. He's the last one on the list that I haven't talked to. So she does it, and for her, it's not that bad. She's like, hey, that wasn't the end of the world. I could continue to do this. Maybe there's hope. Maybe I could help him. And she starts to become attracted to him. And before she does any one-on-one sessions with him, she does some research. She does her homework. She finds out that he lies to everyone who tries to get close, and they get the same story. So she wants a different story. She wants to approach him differently. Long story short, she does. And she gets different stories but they end up being stories that Batman has heard before. So Harleen is a little delusional. She's like, well, he told me in a different way. Poor Harleen. It's interesting the way that they did the art for this, because you could see Dr. Quinzel inside of Harley Quinn towards the end of the book, trying to get out as if she's drowning inside of her new psychosis. And she's like, oh, I know what I should be doing and who I should be, but who I've become has taken over and I can't get out. She's trapped within herself. It's a very interesting take on the character's psychology. There's a few curse words peppered in there. It's definitely a mature read. Definitely don't let your kids read it if they're too young. But it's not obnoxious. It's not cheesy. It's not F-bomb here, cuss word here, cuss word here. It's peppered in lightly to give it nice flavor to where the dialogue is believable. Two-Face's character and his development in the story are just profound. You really get to see him change over time within the panels. He's this guy that's like, I really want justice. I really want Gotham to be a better place. But then he becomes extreme where he still wants Gotham to be a better place, but he's willing to do anything. Hurt anyone. Doesn't matter. He wants to see criminals die. As I was reading this, I realized that a lot of us in society are very similar. If somebody like Bane or the Joker was walking around shooting people, harming people, we wouldn't mind seeing their reckoning and their ending as well. So it really makes Two-Face a fleshed out, believable character. And the way he was written in this story, the art style of his deteriorated flesh was just chef's kiss. Poison Ivy isn't in this that much, which is fine, because I don't really think she needed to be. I think this story needed mostly Harleen. Mostly. I'm glad that the Joker didn't get that much time either. He's important to the story, but he's not the story. I like that Harleen got her own identity. That being said, the scenes that had Poison Ivy were really cool. I'm a big fan of Poison Ivy. I'll eventually be talking about one of her graphic novels and some of her comics as well, because I believe she's underrated. She doesn't get enough love. Maybe people like me making videos about these graphic novels can change that. And the popularity of Harley Quinn, being together with Poison Ivy, hopefully that can change it as well. Who else is in this story? Well, let's talk about Poison Ivy real quick since I was on the topic. Poison Ivy, she's very believable. Like, she's kind of antisocial, but Harleen gets her some sunlight, and that makes Harleen and Poison Ivy have like a slight connection. It's really interesting how that slight connection blooms later, no pun intended, because Poison Ivy and plants and stuff. Later on, apologies for spoilers. I don't want to give too many spoilers. I want you to check it out, but I will say this. Two-Face decides that in order to force politicians, the government, everybody to take crime seriously, and for him seriously killing criminals, he releases all the criminals so they can do whatever they want. In his mind and his reasoning, he believes that if all these criminals are out wreaking havoc, somebody's gonna have to do something. They're all out at the same time. Batman locking them up isn't gonna be enough. Batman catching them and incapacitating them for a moment isn't gonna be enough. We're gonna need more justice. So Poison Ivy gets out. Poison Ivy looks at Harleen and says, if you want to save yourself, you need to get out too. It was a simple line, but it just showed so much care and consideration. And that really made Poison Ivy a standout character in this story. So like I said, if you're a fan of Harley Quinn, you need this in your collection. You need to read it. You need to bask in the beauty of the art. And if you've already read it, let me know in the comments below. This is kind of more of a chill video, breaking the cycle of manga. We're checking out graphic novels and a couple of comic books. If you're into comic books, you're into DC and Marvel, let me know your favorite characters down below in the comments. Mine is The Flash, Wally West, Barry Allen. Love those guys. Until next time, peace.